Hello YouTube, this is the Black Swan here, and today we're going to talk about how to prepare your altar and what you're going to need. Wonderful! Alright, so let's start with the first thing you're going to need, and that's going to be an altar. The actual, what you're going to place everything on altar. Now, this can be made out of whatever you'd like. It can be a stone, it can be inside or outside, it can be a radiator, or whatever you want it to be. It's your decision. You know, this is going to be your altar, your place to go. This is for no one else but you. Okay, you can either be fancy or not fancy at all, you know, or anywhere in between. Usually it's going to be facing in a specific direction, north, south, east, or west, or somewhere in between, you know, but the direction is always known, and you should be very aware of it because different directions mean different things. They correspond with different things and even different elements. I'll talk about elemental affinity in another video, but just be very aware of where your altar is. All right. Now, then you need to find, once you have a direction, find the material you want it to be, whether it's going to be that stone or a plaque or a radiator or whatever it's going to be. Make sure it's large enough to where you can fit things on it. All right. Next, you need to think about an altar plaque. This is going to be what's on the front of your altar. This does not have to be something that you're worshiping to. It's just a symbol to remind you what you're worshiping to, if you like. That's what I use mine for. Mine's a cross. It's no image of a god or anything for me, but that's usually what it would be. A symbol of Gaia, a pentacle, or whatever god is being worshipped. Mine is just a cross to remind me that I'm worshiping to God and no one else. The second thing you need to work on is you need to get an athame. An athame is a ritual dagger, and before it's immediately thought, this ritual dagger, no, it is not used to kill small animals, okay? That's a type of magic that I'm not talking about. This is not murder. This ritual dagger is used to draw the circle, which is the protective circle used when doing a ritual. It's supposed to push out negative energy and strengthen your spiritual self. So that's what the athame is for. Now, I always found that the more natural things that the athame is made out of, the better it will work for you, the more it will resonate. Mine, for example, is made out of elk bone, but you can get one made out of wood or anything else, pewter. It can be just, you know, a regular dagger, but it needs to be kind of small. This isn't a sword we're talking about. This is a small, you know, foot long or less ritual dagger. You should have. You don't have to get this. I don't have this, but many people do. It's called a besom. And a besom is, yes, it is a broom. Alright, no, you're not going to go flying over the moon with this thing. It's a ceremonial thing. It's used to sweep away negative energy from an altar. And you should have that if you want to correspond with that type of thinking. I have a scrying mirror, and scrying mirrors are something I've talked about before, but you can get a scrying mirror. A boline. A boline is a smaller, it's much smaller than your ritual dagger. What it's used for is for cutting up herbs, because you always want to have a good supply of herbs on stash. Sage is the one I would say definitely get immediately, as soon as possible. White sage. Its full leaves are the best. Full leaves. Resin, no thank you. Just good old white sage. You also need to get a book of shadows, a grimoire. And what this is, it's a journal, it's a diary. You'll write down everything you do, every ritual you perform, you'll write it down. Thoughts, concerns, ideas, tarot card readings, whatever you're thinking goes in that book. It is yours. Very important. Get one. Doesn't have to be big and fancy, but you need one. It can be anything. Candles. Candles are extremely important. I can't stress the importance of candles because I love candle magic. Alright, it's so much fun and it's so uplifting. The candle colors I get are red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, dark blue, violet, indigo, black, white, pink, and brown. And you can get all of these colors in those small candles. They're only about this wide and about this tall, and they're chime candles. And chime candles are used for rituals all the time. They're always very good to have on hand. You can also get pillar candles, which are the big round ones. You know, big round ones. They're about this thick, kind of fat. There are pillar candles that kind of do a this type thing. I don't use those, but you'll find those in black and white usually. Um, you can get neat little herb candles that are already blended, you know, for specific rituals like abundance, health, protection, money, wisdom, you know, that type of thing. I'm sure if you go online, you can find all different kinds of stuff like this. Um, Something I don't really recommend getting is a cauldron. I mean, I just don't really see the point of having one, to be completely honest. And if you use one, or if you know somebody who does, please have them post a video explaining why it's important for me to do this. Um, so I don't do the cauldron thing. I do believe in having a chalice or a goblet. I don't have one at the moment, but um, what it's made out of is also very important. Bone, wood, uh, stone, iron, some sort of pewter metal, important. A storage box for keeping stones and herbs, or little things that you'll be using, incense even, is important. Um, Having different incenses and resins and things that will help you meditate better are always a good idea. I definitely suggest them. A set of runes is a very likely thing to be having to have on your altar. A pendulum, uh, some altar bells are used when you ring after a ritual. Tarot cards, or an oracle deck, something like that. Now, I'm very, very, very tentative to talk about cards, tarot cards in this video because there's so much you can be said about that can be said about them, and I'll talk about that in another video. So we'll put that until then. So that is basically all you're going to need for a beginner altar, is what I've just told you, and there are a few things in there that for advanced, but basically that's all you're going to need. So I hope this really helps you get started on building your altar. So good luck!